Good morning! Guess what? I finally got my pantry done. And so I thought I would show you guys a little pantry tour of what is in this Homesteader's working pantry. For those of you who don't know me, my name's Cece. My husband Kirk and I homestead in the big beautiful state of Montana. And it's been probably almost 2 months ago that one of my pantry shelves fell down due to a little kiddo hanging onto it. Oh, I had hair in my mouth. And it took a little while for us to get it fixed because there was no studs in that wall. So Kirk had to get the clips that basically open up. But the screws weren't long enough, a whole 9 yards, you know. Once we finally got the right parts, it came together pretty quickly. And then I needed to reorganize everything. So let me show you what it looks like. Hey, hook one is up. Once we actually got the right stuff, it only took you, what, 5 minutes?
Yeah.
So it looks like tomorrow I get to finish completely cleaning the pantry and putting everything away. Okay, this is going to be a little hard to film because I have a window here in the back and that's just going to make things really kind of weird. So I think I'm going to flip the camera around and I can take you kind of shelf by shelf. Okay, this used to be a coat closet, I believe, and then we put shelves in it and turned it into a pantry. So this top shelf is just a bunch of random stuff. I did not organize that. You can see my paperware. There's some old gardening things over here. And then again, this top shelf I did not reorganize yet. This is basically cake decorating and baking type of things. So I am going to start on this shelf. We do protein smoothies, chocolate for the protein smoothies. This was the best way for me to store my freeze-dried foods in. Most of these cans come from Thrive Life, which is no longer. And so I am slowly switching over to the Ready Harvest, which is the Thrivalist brand. But basically these two, this is like your proteins, my proteins and sauces. This is my fruits and vegetables with a few meals in there. This is a box of samples. And then again, over here is kind of like my own dehydrated things and just random sacks of spices and whatnot. If we bump down here, again, this is just a bunch of extra stuff. Okay, so this is a lot of like store-bought canned things. Some of this is homemade canned jams and whatnot, but these are just a few of the little extra stuff. Big basket of potatoes with some sweet potatoes. I have these random boxes of cereal that I didn't know what to do with. But right here in the center, I did what I'm going to call the breakfast crate. It has cereal and granola and oatmeal. So underneath, all the way down here, is a bunch of just extra food. You can see I have salts, oil. Over there, I think, are teas. These sacks right here are beans. So then over here on this side is all non-food items. Some water pitchers, there's my bread slicer, extra cleaning materials. And then this is kind of our snack shelf. And then coming on up through here, we have pasta and rice and crackers. And then here is just, again, just some random our jerky making, canning style stuff. And then that brings us back up here to the top where there's just a bunch of random stuff. So yeah, it's very short, but this is kind of what my pantry looks like. As long as I have a nice walk-in area here, I'm going to be pretty happy. Oh, these big buckets, one is sugar and one is flour. The sack is almost empty. I just couldn't quite fit it all in there. And then I had got a squash and a watermelon that I'm just going to leave sit here on the floor. This stays fairly cool. This part of the house does not get a lot of heat. Right here is a main door that we come in and out of, and so this stays fairly cool. So as far as all my other extra stuff, all the extra freeze-dried food that I have, a lot of extra oils and all of that, that actually is down in the basement. I am not going to take you down to my basement. Oh, I'm sorry. It is a scary looking basement. It needs a complete overhaul. It needs new shelving put down there, the whole 9 yards. It floods every spring. It's concrete with just, like, you can see underneath the house down there. It's just not a pretty place, so I'm not going to take you down there. But that is where I have totes and totes of my freeze-dried food. We do have some wood shelving down there, and that is where I put all my canned, like green beans that I canned, tomato sauce that I canned, carrots that I canned, all of that. That is down there in the basement. I also have a large tote that whenever I buy extra sacks of sugar, it goes down in there. Whenever I buy extra, you know, just extra store-bought type of things, I put that down in the totes in there. And so this is basically what I just use out of for my normal everyday cooking. And then when I run out of something, I go down to the basement and bring it up into here. And a lot of the stuff down here on the bottom shelf, like there's extra ketchup. Oh, you really can't see it from this angle. And I could put that down there in that tote, but I don't want to fill the tote with a bunch of little stuff. I want to leave the tote for my larger items. And even extra Ziploc bags and stuff like that I have down in the basement as well. And so, yeah, I don't know if anybody is interested in seeing what other people have in their pantry. And to me, there's quite a bit of store-bought stuff in there, but let's be honest, it's really hard to not use store-bought stuff. And so I hope you enjoyed looking at a glimpse into what I store in my pantry. And that does not include all the freezers and all the other stuff where I have food stashed away too. But it is going into winter, and the more food I have stashed away, the better, because I don't want to have to drive in the middle of the winter time. So anyways, short and sweet. We'll see you next week.